What is the state of American health?
The state of American health is not good, and it's only gotten worse in the last year, obviously. So we're dealing not only with all of this chronic disease that we've already been struggling with and this increasing incidence or prevalence of obesity, but now we have added this huge component of this communicable disease that we were not really necessarily prepared for. And interestingly, it always comes back to taking as best care of yourself as you possibly can. And we have some of the tools. It's obviously not foolproof, but eating a whole food plant-based diet and staying healthy and fit and doing the best that you can to support your immune function is good for all of these different things. That's what I love about talking about this way of eating. It's a one size fits all lifestyle that can improve pretty much every component of your health. Of course, again, it doesn't, help you avoid completely this infection that we're currently faced with, but it does give you some of the benefits of reducing your risk for having it and reducing your mortality from it.
Why did you write a new book called The Healthspan Solution? What's it about?
My last book, The Healthspan Solution, I'm writing my next one right now. So the last one was focused on health span and longevity. And it's really a cookbook, but we kind of infused the first 4 chapters with an extraordinary amount of science, because what's so interesting is why eating a whole food plant-based diet is not only effective for reducing risk for chronic disease, but also it seems like the things that are naturally restricted, the things that are naturally limited on a whole food plant-based diet, the things that people are always so concerned about, where do I get my protein? Where do I get my, iron? And it seems like because of these naturally limited nutrients, or just the makeup of a whole food plant-based diet is so effective, is also helpful for health span and longevity. So the research that we're seeing now is that less may be more. And the only way we've ever extended health span and longevity in all organisms tested, from yeast to our primate cousins, is with dietary restriction without malnutrition. So restricting things like these essential amino acids may be why we see these improvements in health span and longevity. So we don't necessarily think we don't have the power yet to extend years and years to our life, but really the focus of this book was to add life to your years. And we have like 100 plus recipes in there. So we want nutritious and delicious and health promoting, and you can have it all. All of that is possible. And that is what we were working on focusing on in the Healthspan Solution.
Is diet the number one cause of early death and disability?
It is. Diet is the number one cause of early death and disability, not only in the United States, but now worldwide. That is how powerful, more so than smoking. So the most powerful thing you can do, that you have the controllable, modifiable risk factor that you can control with your fork every single day, every single bite, is with your food.
What are the major problems with eating animal products?
There's so many problems with eating animal products. It's so interesting. People think, oh, it's nutrient dense and it's a great way to get everything concentrated. But again, more, just because something is good doesn't mean more is better. And it really does look like less is more. So there's 2 big things that I like to think about when we're talking about animal products. First of all, it's when you avoid them, there's certain things that you're reducing your intake of. Obviously, you're not getting hema iron, which is an oxidative form of iron. You're not getting saturated fat, or you're getting less saturated fat. You still can get it from certain plant foods, but you get the right amount when you're just focusing on plant foods. Animal products concentrate saturated fat, and we know that saturated fat is associated with cardiovascular disease and type 2 diabetes, obesity, all sorts of things. We're also not getting those excessive doses of amino acids. So protein is like, everyone is constantly on this pursuit of adequate protein. It doesn't go away. It's like this myth that will not go away. And yes, we need some amino acids, but every plant contains every amino acid. So we do get all of the amino acids that we need, but we get them in the right amounts. And if you look at the longevity health span data, it looks like those excessive amino acids, those branched chain amino acids, the ones that you find concentrated in animal products, promote chronic disease itself. So that is one of the components. There's other compounds like new 5GC and TMAO that's produced by eating these animal products. And those things promote inflammation and promote the chronic disease process. So it puts into play these mechanisms. Inflammation is one of them, oxidation, all these mechanisms that do lead these cascades down the path to chronic disease risk. So that's one component of why I recommend minimizing or at least or avoiding animal products. The other thing is you're crowding out the room for having all of the wonderful components that you find in plants. I'd rather you eat a wonderful health promoting diet of vegetables, fruits, whole grains, legumes, mushrooms, nuts, seeds, herbs, and spices in infinite, delicious, tasty combinations, because then every time you consume food, you're getting this beautiful array of phytonutrition and fiber, which you cannot get from animal products. You only get phytonutrients and you only get fiber from plants. And phytonutrients and fiber are the most health promoting nutrients, and they're crucial for reducing our risk for chronic disease. So it's a win-win situation when you just swap out those animals and bring in the plants, because you're getting less of the bad stuff and more of the good stuff.